start in AoE 2, so it'll be one best of 3. And the winner of this will be crowned King of the Castle. The King of the Castle is the highest ranked, I guess, reward that we have currently in our Discord, in our Age of Empires Discord. So we have the Dark Lord, the Feudal Lord, and the King of the Castle that we're going to crown today. And then what I'm hoping to do is have those who have like received the titles, maybe they'll defend their title once a month or maybe once every 2 months. So I thought that'd be pretty cool. And right now will be Cursed Mum, who I believe on the Discord goes by something else. I think it goes by Lucas. And then I'll just have Pen. I'll just say Pen because there's no way I'm going to be saying that full name continuously throughout the broadcast, unfortunately. For Pen, I guess. But yeah, we're going to jump into things here. And what I want you to see first off is they actually did a pick and ban phase. So what we'll do is we'll take a quick look at that. So there it is. So they'll be starting off Magyars against, I believe, the Mayans. This is the first matchup here. But you can see as they went through the whole thing. So the yellow and green are the civs that they have picked. So there you go. And they did a crazy pick and ban phase. I'm sure, you know, if this was one of those crazy tournaments on live and I had a staff, I'm sure this would be the hype, the 5-minute hype at the beginning of the tournament where we go through the whole pick and bans phase. But I'm just gonna show you it. And then we're gonna probably jump right into things here. So let's as I say, let us do exactly that. We're loading up. And here we go. So in the top right, we have Cursed Mum starting the game off, seeing how we do. Good luck, guys. Thank you, Cursed Mum. Cursed Mum having played the turn. So as you know, unfortunately, it is almost impossible to do everything live in Age of Empires, at least from our thing. So you actually have to cast from replays. So some of the players may be joining us in the Twitch chat as we're watching through this. And we're up against Pen here on the left side. So you can see that there. Starting us off nice and simple, pretty even builds, standard villager opening, and we'll see how it plays out. You can look at some of the stats on the bottom right, although the more important things to keep in mind is definitely, I guess, the resources that they have, the units that they have, which you can see on the top left and the top right of the map. And we begin. So nothing too crazy. I'm not saying any too crazy stats. So we do have the Mayans against the Magyars. The Magyars are a civ that I played recently, so I can tell you they are Cav civ. We'll see if that is the case. If that how Cursed Mum plays them? They're Cav civ that gets upgrades really easily, and I really enjoyed playing them. So I'm hoping I'm just gonna see a pretty standard opening here. On the other side, we have the Mayans, just starting to get resources. Remember, your big 2 resources that you start off with is food and wood. So right away, you know, harvesting the cows for food. And, you know, getting some villagers to work on cutting down some trees and getting some wood. So those are the 2 big resources, which you can see on the top left here. Also, if there's any, you know, the sound, either my mic is too loud or the in-game sounds are too loud, please let me know. Big help, especially as I'm casting this. And I don't have time to be listening to myself as I'm casting it. Unfortunately, I think that's quite difficult to do, but, you know, perhaps it is. So far, it seems no one has screwed up their beginning builds. Although I will say Cursed Mum has 1 more villager, so perhaps... you know, perhaps Pen is a little behind on villagers right off the bat. So we'll see if that plays a factor as this game continues. Having a house being constructed here. I wonder if a mill will go up shortly. We shall see. You can already see that Cursed Mum is getting the boar. A big supply of food right at the beginning. And Pen has not gone for it yet. So those are kind of the big changes right as we get into the swing of things with Age of Empires. It's all about building up your economy first, then you go to war. Which is, of course, the appropriate way to do it, right? don't have your economy and your army ready, just go to that place, make an encampment, and then start worrying about making an army. Perhaps, perhaps that's really the genius of this game. But yeah, you see now Penn's going for the boar, and Cursed Mom still has a 1 villager advantage, so we'll see if that continues on. I haven't really seen if any of them have been population capped yet. That might be a sign of difference. This is also a big thing you see when players are slightly more experienced, is building up the wall quickly. I think when you're a little lower rank, you tend to goof off and take your time getting up the walls, but more experienced players can get them up more quickly. Also, just to give some backstory, so it turns out that Cursed Mom, we were looking for an opponent, and Penn had volunteered himself, so Penn is definitely the underdog in this King of the Hill tournament, definitely the underdog. But it turned out Cursed Mom and Penn are actually friends, so I think there's also that story behind it. 2 friends facing off against each other, and not only behind that, they also have, if Penn wins this, like, that's some bragging rights. If you beat someone who's about 300, skill rating, elo higher than you, that's pretty good. That is pretty good. Ooh, second boar going in. You can see now 2 villager lead and loom. Not only does, or maybe I wonder if they've already got a loom. Interesting, they might have already got a loom. I can't really tell. I think Penn was hoping to get the scout there. Didn't quite work out, and actually kind of costed a little bit of the mining time, or the resource gathering time. So unfortunate in that sense. That's a nice gold patch right beside his base. Villagers from Cursed Mom here waiting around, not doing much. Never a good sign if your villagers aren't doing anything. That's for sure. But you can see now in the top right, you can see that Cursed Mom is the first one that's going to go into the feudal age, and that's going to start Euro really being the age where we're going to start putting pressure on the opponent. Alternatively, perhaps you go really quickly into that age and then skip right to the next one and go to castles. So we'll kind of see how Cursed Mom plays this out. But overall, slight lead. It would behoove Penn to be able to age up as quickly as possible, because if you're behind in those ages, that's when it can get really, really dicey. Once again, you can see the difference in the wall making, just protecting yourself in case of any attack. And the age up, you see, so a full 2 minutes ahead is Cursed Mom on the age up. And Penn is slightly behind. So if Penn is to win this, it doesn't look like it'll be an early game. It'll probably be much later in the game. We have our resident, enjoyer of walls and corners, Relentless in the chat. Yes, he once famously goofed about how much he enjoyed how corners looked in walls, and now it's something that he'll never be able to live down, and so he's accepted it and embraced it. Yeah, ASAP enjoyer of walls, Relentless. If Relentless was a medieval, Sir, he would go around, and that's how he'd introduce himself. The great ASAP enjoyer of walls. No, I guess the great Relentless enjoyer of walls is arriving in town. Interesting wall heal, I will say, from Penn. It seems very close to the base. Like, I would definitely kind of want to go maybe a little more north and cut this way. But yeah, he seems to be making an interesting kind of smaller wall. The one thing with walls is you don't want to actually cut down your access to other things. You want to be able to protect your base. Also, here are the first scouts. So once again, we're saying that is a cavalry civilization that's coming out from Cursed Mom, and we'll see if there's any harassment that's going to come with this. Yeah, 3 horses. Ooh, run. And they're going to probably run away to their base. Remember, when the villagers get into their town center, their main base here, they're able to shoot arrows. Get 1 villager already, but beyond the villagers that this gets them, or this gets Cursed Mom, it'll also prevent Penn from getting resources, which you can use for upgrades, which you can use for building an army and other stuff. So the longer that Cursed Mom can keep, you know, Penn kind of stuck in his base there, the worse off it is. Although you can see now he's not paying attention. He's lost one of them. And if he loses another one, it may be enough. Another thing about scouts is it's not actually too difficult to take down one scout, one scout by itself. So it might be time now for Penn to leave this area. And so the first attack happened. The result, they're still quite even on villagers, so that's a good sign for Penn. However, overall, I would say that the time lost, you know, not getting resources might be a little worse. That being said, Cursed Mum actually... Oh, you can see the big difference. So it's something I just noticed here, but Penn has 16 on wood and 6 on food, while Cursed Mum has 17 on food and 11 on wood. Usually you want a little bit more on food than wood. That is definitely a thing of concern. Only 2 on wood, or sorry, 2 on food. That could start biting Penn in the butt as this game continues. But yeah, so maybe he's just a little bit in shambles, but still doing all right. Still doing okay. Nothing too bad fighting off these scouts. Remember, scouts... I mean, right now these units are not all upgraded, so they can all kind of fight against each other. And we'll see how this plays out. I think Penn might be clicking that town bell a little too much. 3 scouts isn't necessarily the scariest thing in the world, and now look at that once again, not farming. And you know, this game is about farming. This game is about getting those farms built. Although right now these bow and arrows working out. And now I would probably click that town bell. Awesome, great point. So the scouts have been deflected. But the pressure is on. The pressure is on. Although I will say I'm very impressed that Penn has been able to keep up with villager counts. That's when the game can really start getting out of hand. The big difference here is all the farms that Cursed Mum has. All these farms that are going to be gathering that food, which is the primary resource in this game. Okay, but we're starting to build up those farms here on Penn's side as well. I would be very surprised though if Penn was able to age up before Cursed, just because of this harassment that's going on. All right. Hopefully there'll be no more. Oh, there's an eagle stuck in there. He doesn't even know. There's an eagle scout that's gonna be stuck in this town center. He'll never know. Forever guarding. Apparently, I don't know how this happened, but there's a Penn cow just sitting and scouting, but it hasn't been, like, so with cows and like sheep and cattle in this game, if you walk near it, it turns to the other side, right? So if any of these villagers, eventually, you know, if they mine this first patch of gold, they might walk close enough to actually take this cow, but currently not the case. Currently not the case. I'm actually impressed at how close Penn has kept this. And it doesn't look like the upgrades are too much ahead either, so it's really just a slow build right now. And we'll see if this gets demonstratively better or worse. Now, this is where things might start to change. Castle Age has been initiated by Cursed Mum, and if you are in Castle Age and against Feudal Age, you have a great advantage. You know, whether it's just for the upgrades, perhaps you can start collecting relics, perhaps you can expand, perhaps you can get a second town center, so your main base where you can make villagers. And perhaps, you know, most devastatingly of all, you can get a castle and you just throw up a castle. And that's a lot of pressure for someone who is still in the Feudal Age if you're up against a castle. Some selling, some stone selling, interesting. Ooh, I think Penn knows it. I think Penn knows it and has kind of set himself up to use the market, right, to sell stuff in order to get to that next age as quickly as possible. I do like this. When you are behind and you feel like you might be behind in the aging up process, it's good to just kind of get there. And so now he started it. Still going to be 2 minutes behind, but it's definitely, you know, it's definitely a lot better than what's the word? Than having that happen too late before you realize it. Also, the cow's long... I cannot believe that the cow got here and is now making the long journey back, all the way back home. Unbelievable. Incredible. And so we will follow the cow as they are going to the Castle Age. It doesn't look like any of the players are prepared to go out. We do have knights coming from Cursed Mum, which might be the thing that happens here. Ooh, lots of Eagle. Interesting placement of that. Maybe the Eagle Warriors can get that and notice it. No, they don't. So I guess, or are they going to interrupt the villager? No, they're not going to interrupt the villager. And so I guess we're going to have a siege workshop. There's a town center going up. Maybe Penn will notice. But yeah, all these castle age things starting up now. Siege workshop, getting ready, getting going, and we'll see what happens from here. Little squad. Ooh. Squad up. Do 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 do. We're gonna do harassment, but there's only 4 of us. Do 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 do. All right, so they're gonna attack the villagers here, but at the same time, heavily armored knights are coming in on the other side of the map. And ooh, they are doing just fine. However, Castle Age has been achieved, but this is a lot of pressure. I'd be more afraid of these 4 knights. That being said, they are attacking a building, and there's archers from Penn ready to go. Not only that, these scouts are preventing the wood line from doing anything. Great play. Right now, I think, as long as these knights don't get in, I actually think there's no reason to be holed up. I think this is a mistake. You want to be making sure you keep getting your resources. But yes, ooh, I love this Scorpion, because the Scorpion shoots in a nice line, so if you can get them in a line, you can do some good damage, and it prevents them from solving this. This is a lot of knights, a lot to deal with, and this army back at home is not able to deal with it. I would say the villagers should still be farming until the point that the building falls. There's no reason that... Maybe with the Scorpion, maybe there's a little bit of threat there, but really there's no reason that you shouldn't be mining until, if it was just knights, until your kind of buildings that are protecting you fall. That being said, this Scorpion getting those villagers is actually going to mean enough. I think the knights can easily keep hitting this. There's really... The truth is, armored knights against, you know, even crossbowmen are not necessarily the worst thing in the world. He's hoping to get Scorpion hits. He might need a couple more Scorpions to make it happen, but the wall does go down, and now they can get on top, but he gets scared. Cursebaum gets scared of it and runs away. And so the pressure here, so far, so good. But once again, remember, the resources that are being gathered are significantly less for Penn right now. The only hope is he's hoping to clear up these knights and see if anything happens. There's still pressure happening here. The knights have cleared up the squad. Okay, the squad's gone. And that being said, this is enough crossbowmen to be able to clear that. I think at this point, definitely unring your town bell and start getting those resources again. Perfect, perfect. So we have a little encampment here in the top of the map from Cursemum, gathering up his army to make one other push at the front. Things to take into account right here. We have the town center, an extra town center being built, a great supply of gold. Gold is the 3rd resource in this game, but it is the most important resource because it is hard to gather. There's a limited supply on the map, and most of your most expensive units require it. So it's definitely a lot of fighting over gold, and having this town center right beside this gold means that you can get a lot of it. This is a scary army forming up again. However, I am impressed by Penn's crossbowmen, how well they were able to do against the last attack, so he might be able to actually, as long as the Scorpions don't get too good shots, this might be enough. It's nice that he has walls as well, so you can just, even if the crossbowmen are a little bit slower, he will be able to follow the knights as they move around. So you can see this positioning, trying to get to this wall, and now the crossbowmen were scare them away. I think Cursemum, if he had maybe 5 more knights, could actually just start hitting the wall and not really care about those crossbow shots as much because of that armor. Like, I think knights are a little more scary than people might perceive. So there it is. There's 4 more. I mean, this is a perfect opportunity to get in. And I'd even argue if you have 2 Scorpions, you can just start hitting down a wall and have your Scorpions, you know, thrown damage, get that AoE, area of effect damage, onto these crossbowmen. But a lot of pressure being put here in the in the top left side of the base. So there it is. It's finally time to attack. Playing very, I think personally overly cautiously, but maybe he has such an advantage he isn't really pushing the thing because he can, which I think is actually fair as well, honestly. There's no reason to necessarily be too worried. But with 3 Scorpions, like, I mean, I think the Scorpions can actually move slightly up and exactly do that damage to a couple of them at a time while your knights are destroying that building. And there it is. The pressure's mounting. If there's time for Penn to have much more units, the time is now. Ooh. Oh, but the defense is there. He might be able to get the next Scorpion. I am impressed by how well Penn is holding this off. He actually does have a bigger army. I don't know if necessarily it's a teched bigger army, right? If the overall, you know, if they were to face an open field, would it do anything? But with these walls, he's doing very, very well. But a third town center. So Cursed Mum, I think, is approaching this very smartly, essentially saying, hey, listen, I have you kind of penned in. And that's such a bad joke. And I'm gonna keep putting pressure. Maybe see if I can go around, which I really like. I actually really like this play. There's a small opening, which both of the players notice almost at the same time, which I really like. So there's a small opening that he's trying to get with the Knights. Maybe he'll get there. But regardless, the 3 town centers will mean such a villager advantage. This is a game where the ability to rebuild units is so important. He's going to go and attack the main gate. Remember, this is not a stone gate. This is a palisade wall. It's made of wood. So the Knights easily take it down. Yes, swords do chop down wood. You have heard that correctly. But the Knights are running away. I understand why Cursed Mum is playing this a little safer, but I think he may not realize how much of an advantage he is at right now. That's at least from what I am seeing. Magyars as well with all the upgrades. So we got +2 armor, +2. I think this versus armor. Trying to get what all these things. Man, some of these things I don't think people talk enough about. But regardless, the upgrades in Magyars, I think you have some free upgrades, especially for Cav Civs, that are going to give you a nice advantage. And honestly, the monk could heal, dude. Like, look at this guy. I don't even know how this guy's still on his horse. All right, this man. Oh, okay, they're moving out. No healing. Okay, he's gonna start the battle with 6 out of 120 health. Brave it. He has one hand holding onto the horse. Both his legs have been chopped off, but he is still there. He's still ready to fight. A hero that we need. The relics are now coming in, so those who don't know, relics do generate more gold for you. Passive gold income, which once again, this is a resource that eventually starts to mine out. Although there's still a lot of it. It only really starts to matter later in the game, but getting a bunch of relics is helpful. There's also some bonuses from civilizations without it. Oh, this is open field. Oh, that shot! I was like, so if you have the mangonels, they do very well if they can get a nice shot on these archers. Takes out the mangonel. Now's the time to attack. Oh no, he's not going to face an open field, which maybe isn't a bad idea. I think a castle might be nice from either of these players at this point, but both of them have decided, nope, castles are not my thing. Now the villager count is starting to get out of hand. So right now, Penn is about 30 villagers behind. That's from the multiple town centers happening. But he does have an army that's not the worst. It's not the worst. Cursed Mum has advanced to the Imperial Age. I don't... Yeah, so I don't know if there's, you know, that much that can be done in this particular instance, but, you know, who knows? Who knows? Ooh, he's sneaking by. What? That is a mangonel? Ooh, the mangonel splits? What am I seeing right now, dude? The mangonel splits. The pressure. Just attacking the villagers here could serve a distraction, but no, he's walking by the town center and just losing units. I mean, perhaps if he gets Imperial, I wonder if they have Arbalest. I'm not sure if mines have Arbalest, but perhaps if they can get to that Imperial age, they can really start doing something. But that army's still here, and just the fact that he's having his units move around the map is slowing down this army from attacking. I think Cursed Mum's played very, very safe. I think a lot of these battles could have been won with a few more knights, but you know, so far so good. Oh, was that a bear? Ooh, look at the bear. The bear's ready to fight. All right, sorry, no distractions. So yeah, you can see these crossbowmen really starting to get plentiful. Now this is interesting. Mangonel is interesting from Penn because the army he is facing is not one that clumps up as much as his own. But it is good if you want to take out other Mangonel. So there you go. But now you have Cavalier, who are coming on in. So even Knights got even further upgraded. This is really starting to be a dangerous force coming on in here. And we'll see if there's anything that can be done about it. Wait, the bear is actually fighting. The bear's ready. The bear's ready to go. The bear chases on the hunt, chasing after these knights. Oh, almost made it. So close. There it. Oh, wow. Wow, how dare the knights. The brutes. The brutality. All right, and we're back to kind of square one. Now, these mangonels are going to be definitely game changers if they can land a big hit on the army of Penn. But they're also nice for taking down buildings from a little further away. So that's a nice little touch here. This is definitely the most focused part of the map, given that, you know, essentially Cursed Mom has expanded into 3 town centers and is booming. Oh, a second town center has gone up from Penn. I do like that. I do like that. It is currently, what is it, 73 workers to 94. So that's a little bit of a difference. Although at this point, it matters less. Perhaps gold income will matter the most. Gold and food. Well, we're about to see if this army of Cursed Mom is able to make it in and take over. You can see how many arrows these 2 knights just took, and I think that does not bode well for the fight that is about to happen. Wow. I am happy how patient Penn has been, because I think he could have lost this game a lot earlier if he was, you know, caught out by the knights at any point. But now a castle has been built, and you'll start getting trebuchets, and that's really when the pressure will be put on to Penn. I am happy with how much army he's built at this point. He's kind of gotten to that point. Ooh, I like that. A little monk action, getting the 1 convert, stopping the army. But the buildings are slowly falling down. Look how many arrows these knights take, these cavaliers take. Now, if they attack one at a time like this, maybe they'll be able... Oh my goodness, the amount of armor that these knights have. Maybe in the last Civ, if Penn can get those upgrades, the final upgrades for his crossbowmen, maybe he'll have a chance. But this is where it's getting really, really dicey. The town center, the main town center, is under attack. And we'll see if anything happens from it. But that pressure is being kept on continuously. And the 1 monk. Now this Treb, nice touch. If it can it hit the town center? It can. Okay, well, this is now very worrying. And I think this is probably our final fight. And the knights are all over the crossbowmen. They've surrounded them. And GG is called. So there you go. So if we now go to... Oh. We go over to... Which one am I going to? Okay. The score here, it is now 1-0 for Cursed Mom. Remember, this is a best of 3, so it could end at any second. Our next map is Ring Forest. And it will be the Franks from Penn against the Khmer from Cursed Mom. So we'll see how that plays out. We're gonna not waste a moment, and we're gonna jump right into it. There you go. So right away, nice standard build from Cursed Mom. Nice standard build. You can see the reflections on both sides from Penn. I think that might have been a misclick. You wanted to move the scout, but Penn accidentally clicked off within villagers. So unfortunate. So a little behind now already. You can see from gathering from this cow. Small mistakes, especially in the beginning of games, can cost you, but we'll see what happens from this. So Franks are definitely going to be a cow civ, I think. We'll see if how Cursed Mom plays the Khmer in a moment. As you can see, this particular map that they're playing, Ring Forest, has not an actual wall, but like most of an actual wall, so you can kind of fill it up. Or use them as choke points as this game begins. There's a lot of wood you can gather from all over the map. And yeah, generally a lot more resources than Arabia, which we played on before which is a nice touch, which means kind of whoever takes control of the map will be able to expand, will be able to do so much. The worst walls? It is the worst walls because you almost rather just have one line here, right? Just like one line of walls here. Just one straight line and then like a big gap and then one straight line, because then you can just attach them. But instead, if you want to actually fill up these walls, you kind of have to like put individual walls like this all over the place. It's just really, really annoying to do. So you almost rather just not have walls, I'm gonna be honest, and just build your own. That's how bad these walls are. Yeah, but they're starting off pretty similar. We'll see if there's any early advantage. We do have Cursed Mum in the chat joining us once again. The games haven't been played, so Cursed Mum won't be giving us any spoilers. But Cursed Mum, if I were to ask you though, did you feel pretty confident at this point in the series as you played it, or an hour ago? I'm also very curious if you've played each other before in a best of 3. Also a big thing that I'm curious about. We're having player interviews while the game is going on. That's some next level esports production. Let me tell you. While the series is happening, interviews. The next phase. Wow. The whole So it shows come here for a reason. Ooh, the foreshadowing. I liked it. We'll see how your plan plans out as we continue. But yes, you can see the wood is being harvested, food is being harvested, but pretty standard openings overall. I wish the follow unit button wasn't so, I don't know, scatter. Like it just feels like the screen goes crazy. I wish it was a little smoother. I guess I'll have to scroll wheel follow instead. But yeah, we got one knight on this side. Ooh, and just slowly already on the wild boar. Let's see if yeah, they're both already on the wild boar. They're both at 15 villagers. No real big differences right now. Big advantages you can see. Pen already has the house up. That's nice. And yeah, they're neck and neck right now. Standard opening, standard build. Little wall here. Although these walls are funny because you, in theory, have to close up this wall as well, but I digress. Also, there is the auto scout feature, so I am kind of, you know, I think you could just click the button and there it is. Wow, look, I say it and it happens. Amazing. So yeah, maybe if you're a really, really high level player, you might not click the auto scout feature, but if you're a little lower ranked, it's a nice little, you know, thing that you can click and not worry about that knight, and just keep an eye on the knight if it goes near a base, so you don't lose it. But overall, I mean, I don't know how much of the map you currently have scouted, but yeah, it's a thing. It's a feature that, like, I think you can be a pro and still use it and not hate your life, you know. As long as you don't, like, as long as you keep tabs that it doesn't like go into their base, it's not the worst thing in the world, I guess. Especially if you're trying to find relics, like, especially, I don't know. Anyway, I'm in the beginning of the game when there isn't any aggression happening, I get to talk about the auto scout feature. So there you go. There you go. Yeah, but we're rolling. Once again, just a reminder for anyone who is just joining us, this is a best of 3 series, and currently Cursed Mum is up 1-0. 1-0. So if Cursed Mum takes it, then he is crowned king of the castle, gets that title in the Discord, and every month or two, especially when we find challengers, he'll get a chance to defend it. That's kind of how we do the tournaments, the show matches. It's like a title belt. It's like a pro wrestling title belt. You get to call, someone gets to call you out, and then you defend it. So we have the king of the castle will be the highest ranked players that we have, and then the other two we have the dark lord, which is the lowest ranked players, and the feudal lord, which are middle ranked players. Ooh, it looks like Cursed Mum might be able to get pens. Oh, the plays, the bait. Gets the scout. So I guess an even trade. If this was chess, that's like a, you know, you get the knight for the knight. You can literally use chess. There you go. Even trade that we have here. Curse Mom going to the Feudal Age, but this time the big difference between this game and the last game, Penn now hitting the Feudal Age seconds after as opposed to 2 minutes behind. Great thing for Penn, and yeah, we'll see how that goes, how this continues. Immediately they're getting economic upgrades, so that's a good touch. Wow, the walls really start getting crazy, like, in between wood lines. Like, this is a funny shape for walls in Age of Empires. Yeah, but they're continuing on, and we've got a mill here from Penn. Probably a pretty safe mill, I'm gonna be honest. With a map like this that has, you know, I think most of the time, unless you're specifically trying to avoid something, this central area, kind of in the middle here, that'll be where Curse Mom and Penn will be kind of, you know, moving their troops through. So you can probably even, like, when you get to Castle Age, you get a pretty safe town center, kind of, you know, in these side areas where, unless they specifically want to check them out, they won't, right? It's one of those things where it's like, well, they scout it and they have an army, they can destroy it, especially if they have a cavalry army, but otherwise it's not too much of a worry. Now, Curse Mom had foreshadowed, had alluded in the chat here that there was open walls, and there's a reason he chose Khmer. Perhaps Khmer have a scout special ready to go against Penn here, and he's planning to do that scout aggression early on. 3 scouts, you know, not a lot, but once again, I think 4 scouts. Not crazy amount, but once again, you know, if you're up against someone who doesn't have any army out, it's a good way to prevent them from gathering resources, which we saw happen in the other game. The only difference now is that they are in the same age, and Penn is actually ahead 1 on villagers. So I think from an economic standpoint, Penn has done an amazing job getting ahead, just doing that economy, the macro part of the game. But yeah, Curse Mom here. The knights can probably go. I was waiting for 6. Might be waiting for 6. It's a nice number to attack with. And yeah, he's gonna get into that opponent's line with no real walls protecting. It'd be funny if Curse Mom just like never attacks, just builds up the scout army. He's like, nah, I'm good. Although, you know, at this point, Penn could be moving to Castle Age, so this kind of focus on the scouts, the upgrades, the forging upgrade that's happening right now. If Curse Mom doesn't push out, Penn might be able to quickly get into Castle Age, and then once again, that technological advantage is a big difference maker in a series like this. So we'll see if that happens. I do like how freely we've had Penn kind of, you know, expanding his resources outside of space. There's no real threat. Like, scouts like these might find it, but they might not, right? Like, you kind of have to do a large sweep. Yeah, but I feel like Curse Mom waiting for 8, which is a great number. 9 even. Ooh. So they'll definitely be a threat to deal with. But, you know, this is the thing where it's like, okay, this wood line can get absolutely destroyed, or Curse Mom just doesn't find it, you know? Like, that is one of the 2 things that could happen, you know? I have a theory that you could even go like way more safe and like hide it way in the corner here so no one can ever find it. But look at this. I don't think he's actually gonna find it. He's just gonna stroll right in. He's not gonna see that wood line, but he is gonna put a lot of pressure with 9 knights here coming on in, and we'll see how Penn responds. Ooh, 1 villager down. 2 villagers down. Gets 2 villagers. Takes a little bit of damage. Ooh, you can't be walking in front of it. Pretty fortunate. You do have to be careful with the bell, though. Once again, all he has to do... Ooh, Penn's playing that game now. You just... No, you wait till they... Essentially, that's the game you play. You let your villagers get You get food, and then you wait for the knights to come on in, and then you hide again. So I like that a lot, happening differently from the first game. Why be safe when you can play greedy? I agree, I agree. And this is the little game you play. As soon as they come close, you hide your villagers, you shoot some arrows, and then you go back out. Like, that's a game you're going to play as this is happening. And the tough thing is you have to multitask and start doing other stuff, right? You have to be doing, you know, building up your own knights, for instance. Which, once again, by the way, Penn is in the third age, and this is really where the difference happens. This is a great 3. They can actually do a lot against scouts, but then knights, right? Knights absolutely destroy scouts. So, yeah, I think Penn is in a pretty good spot. 1 age ahead. A little bit of villagers behind, but right now, you know, if you're an age ahead, that means for 2 minutes, Cursed Mum is not going to be building anything, really. And this town center is going up. If this town center goes up, that protects that worker line that's building wood there. Finished out this little line. Could probably get someone to repair. But I actually think, you know, overall, Penn is ahead in this game, which I'm really happy with. Sorry, I shouldn't be biased. Ooh, finally that villager line, which I said was, you know, it's a gamble, but can be a safe gamble. Found out by scouts. I like that Cursed Mum looked around for that wood line. So, you know, if you have an undefended base, you can always... Like, you could literally put it here if you had scouted it, right? I mean, I'm sure Penn doesn't see that much of the map, but I just think there's a lot of pockets that you could probably hide a wood line and no one would really find it. Unless they're accidental. But there are four of these. I am curious where the 3 knights are from Penn, because they could easily get this. Oh, they're going aggressive. Ooh, I like it. He's essentially saying, like, listen, scouts I can defeat with arrows from my town center, so I might lose a little bit of resources, but let me put some pressure on the other side. And knights are way more resistant to arrows, so great play. These guys are gonna... These spearmen are gonna have a tough time getting there. But yeah, I'm loving how Penn is playing. He's put himself in a good position. I would like to have seen, you know, a couple more villagers produce during this time. But yeah, clears up the base and now is in with his own knights, 3 knights and a scout. And they're gonna put a lot of pressure. You can see the walls being built up by Cursed Mum to protect a couple villagers in the gold, but like, this is still resources that are being used essentially, and a lot of pressure that is kind of coming out. You can kind of see the difference though, right? Cursed Mum, instead of putting all his villagers, putting 1 or 2, which isn't actually, you know, I think it's a nice little balance. But yeah, as soon as the threat is gone, lets the villagers get resources again. So that's a big kind of difference when you see in levels. With defending, is you can be a lot more individual with like, oh, this villager has low health. You know, this villager has low health. Let me hide that one into the base. I also have 1 villager stuck in the town center, probably for the rest of the game. Now, the second town center is up for Penn, so that's a great addition. Which means he should be building 2 villagers at a time and really get ahead in the villager count. But I mean, tough when you have, you know, 4 knights in your base. I do like the second, you know, 2 town centers right away from Cursed Mum, kind of defended or attacked for a bit, and now is saying, okay, let me get that economic edge as we're in this part of the game. Yeah, so we'll see what happens from it there. I think 4 scouts. Like, I know they have an advantage, but do they have that much of an advantage? Perhaps when they get this upgrade here, the pikeman upgrade. Yeah, there you go. Okay, now they definitely win that fight. I was like, I wasn't sure. I'm not sure. You know, sometimes with knights, they can be sneaky, especially if you underestimate their upgrades, which there's a couple of them already for the Khmers. So Cursed Mum is keeping out that pressure on the outside of the base here. Ooh, I like this town center. Okay, so this is the difference between game 1 and game 2 is Penn much more willing to expand, get those other town centers up, get those extra villagers. I really like that from Penn. And here we go. Yo, side story. Actually, no. I'll keep that side story in my back pocket, perhaps. Perhaps. So this is really starting to get to a lot. Like, this is a lot of knights to defend against, right? It's at a point where you amass a certain amount where it's like, oh no, they do good against, you know, a town center with 5 villagers in it. You know, like they could probably destroy it. So that's definitely the critical mass that's starting to be hit for Cursed Mum. But yeah, we'll see what happens from there. I'm just gonna drink the water here as we proceed. Ooh, the pressure's coming on, sorry. Distraction. See the pikemen go down, critical mass of the knights hit. This is a lot of pressure, but the knights are coming up from Penn on the other side. These 3 scouts are annoying, probably not gonna do all too much. Destroying a wall that's not really a wall. Interesting tactic. Interesting. To be fair, probably just focusing somewhere else and just right-clicking one place while you wait, or just attack movement in that one place while you wait. But yeah, once again, that Scorpion Knight play, which I've seen a lot from Cursed Mum. Very interesting. Very interesting. We'll see how it plays out here. Ooh, man, this is a dangerous position for Penn. They are still quite similar in villager count, but it's 11 knights to 5. So we'll see how Penn plays this. Ooh, these scorpions getting in on the villagers here might be a big kind of turning point in the game here. Getting a couple of them down. Well, that's really dangerous for your villagers there. Here, now come the knights. And they are gonna have a tough fight. Try and take down the scorpions first. Interesting. I mean, I like it because it'll protect the villagers, but this is a tough fight for Franks' knights, and this is a lot of cavalry. I do not know how Penn's gonna make it out of it here. Ooh. Lots of pressure being put on by these knights. Hitting all these different places. And here in the main town center, this can be it. This can be the tipping point. There really isn't much from Penn. And the pressure is being put on the main base. Oh, the converts one knight over. I like it. I like it. I mean, he's slowly starting to clear this up very slowly. Maybe. Is that hopeful thinking? He actually has defended this somewhat. A little bit of interest. I don't know what happened there quite, but kind of defended. Nah, that's a lot of knights coming in from Cursed Mum. Lots of pressure being put on here. It's gonna be very tough. If Penn manages to survive, I will be impressed. Super, super impressed. The pressure is on. I mean, there is almost a 4th town center being built. I like this aggressive economic play. And a castle. Is he going to try to put up a castle while this pressure is happening? Army of villagers? Yes. This is just... I don't know... He's just abandoned his main base. I mean, that's the play, I guess. I mean, I guess. He is kind of low on food resource, which I am curious about, but has enough to build a castle, and there isn't really anything much happening from Cursed Mum here back here. Still picking up the pressure. Penn using up all his market trading that he can. 2 relics in that. That's probably going to go down. That's going to be annoying, but... If Penn does get a castle up here, that could kind of change the game a little bit. Interesting, interesting, interesting. This is slowly getting up. Lots of pressure happening. Remember, when in doubt, counterattack. That's how you play AoE, I guess. But his whole base has just been flooded with knights. But I really like this. This is a great TC. This time, sorry, TC the town center. This town center is probably going down. His whole base is probably going down. But a castle has gone up. A castle has gone up. I mean, listen, when in doubt, I guess just build a castle in their base, you know? Is there a special unit that he can build from here? He is surviving, which I'm very impressed by. I do like how expansive this has been. If this castle goes up on the other side, though, that's when I think it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough, and also I think he's currently not able to attack these knights that are right in front of his castle because he does not have that upgrade. So this is definitely a precarious position to be in. Okay, is he going for another castle? Wait, what is he building here? He's building a stable right in front of their base, and he's baiting the knights with it. 200 IQ plays from Penn. Oh my goodness. His whole base is in shatters, but he might be able to get the stable up in their base. He does have that food resource finally going with these 3 town centers. Unbelievable. And the knights are being produced inside of Cursed Mum's base. This is wild, how he is surviving this. This castle still has a lot to go before it goes down, because it's now only being hit by a knight and 2 villagers, which is my favorite podcast, A Knight and 2 Villagers. I think that'd be a good Age of Empires podcast name. And he's going for, what is he building here? Another stable hidden. Ooh, the next base is under attack. This is definitely a tough spot, but immediately builds another town center. He just keeps expanding. I love this. I love this play by Penn. Aggressively expanding on all sides of the map. He's like, you'll knock him down, I'll pop up a new one, and he can start getting these anti-knight pikemen to help out here. This castle's still here causing chaos. He's building a town center. He's stealing gold. He's now stealing gold. Wild. I think it's gonna be... I cannot... Where's he going with this? Like, I feel at this point, with this many knights, you can just right-click the town center and then destroy everyone in it. Him slowing down here might cause a problem later in the game. Like, this base could probably already be cleared. But instead, it's kind of up, and it's taking a long time to go down. Now this castle's slowly going down, which may cause chaos. The Treb is a big one. Can he actually get this Treb with the 1 knight? I'm curious. Not quite. Okay, that castle's probably going to go down. I mean, all this being said, I still think Cursed Mum is a very good position. I just think this base could have probably been already cleared, and then all the villagers are gone from it. But he is just expanding aggressively, continuously, everywhere on the map. Rebuilding his base. He might be able to take down a Treb, I guess, with a castle. Interesting. Interesting. This castle's going to go down, though. I mean, the one thing he does have is some gold income, so that's nice. I don't know about 1 knight attacking that particular thing, but this whole map is in shatters here. Okay, finally right-clicking the base. The mass repair. He should still have 1 or 2 in the middle. Ah, okay, they're gone. He's gonna heal it? He's gonna heal it? No way, dude. At this point, it's anyone gain. You're saying at this point it's anyone's gain? Man, Penn's got the hope. The hope, but I do like the aggressive expansion. I think that's great. That is amazing. Next town center popping up. They just keep popping up. You know, it's like whack-a-mole here for Cursed Mum. I do like this though. Wild. This is everything is absolutely wild. Unbelievable here. Ooh, the castle, the aggressive castle for Curse Mom. Trying to take it out here. Wow. I mean, never give up, never surrender, am I right? That's kind of the motto of this particular game. I don't even think he'll check this town center. I think he thinks this might be the last one. Who knows? That part's gonna go down. And there you go. And so Cursed Mom is victorious and takes this game number 2, winning the best of 3. There you go. Unbelievable. Great job with that. They did, however, send me another replay, so I don't know if this is a fake out replay or if in fact there is the third replay. Did he fake me out? Did he fake me out with the third replay? He's about to tell me. No. Okay. It is the fake out. Actually, okay, thank you, Lucas, because I was okay, so here's a short side story. Lucas, which is Cursed Mom. But Lucas in Discord, so you'll see his name pop up. He let me know. He gave me the 3 files. He did fake me out. I was saying like, oh, you spoiled it for me, but it's because I only saw the 2 most recent replay files, so I thought I was spoiled, but I wasn't actually spoiled. He actually did fake me out. Incredible. Not only did he fake out Penn, but he faked it out in here. I have to say though, Penn's play in the second game was phenomenal. I think he did significantly better, but he was just had to deal with all those knights going in and striding in. But there you have it. We're gonna now go to the score and the king of the castle. We're gonna add that number 2 to it. And there you have it. Cursed Mom has been Penn, or Lucas as he's known in the Discord, and has done it. GG's everyone. Thank you, Penn, and thank you for Cursed Mom for playing those games. And so the king of the castle, the person who will be, has to be, I guess you have to be called out in the Discord. If you want to call him out perhaps in the future, feel free to call them in the Discord, especially if you're a higher ranked player, and we'll set up the next king of the castle. He'll have to defend his king of the castle title at some point. In a month or 2 or in the future sometime. But thank you everyone for tuning in, and that concludes our King of the Castle tournament.